East Bay Indians for the Western Conference Championship in boys soccer. Both these teams coming off big wins last night. Bloomingdale defeated Sickles 9-3, and East Bay, of course, coming off the hat trick from Justin Hand, defeated Gaither last night 3-2. Set your starting lineups for you for Bloomingdale in black: John Gustafson, Justin Detier, Casey Stump, Chaz Richard, Paul Sanders, Mike Colbecker, Bobby Anderson, Matt Lepley, Chris Gatlin, Steve Fogelsong, and Drew Emery. East Bay is in white going right to left with the red shorts, and Bloomingdale is in black and white. Ball into the box quickly, and the keeper bumped there, and the East Bay player is down. Set East Bay's lineup for you quickly: Rio Oros, Paul Stelzer, Joey LaBarbera, David Orvash, Johnny LaBarbera, Fabian Bayer, Justin Hand, the leading scorer in Hillsborough County, Andrew Morris, PJ LaBarbera, Chris Hopkins, and the other starter is Scott Jackson for East Bay. Player down for East Bay, that's PJ LaBarbera, forward for the Indians. East Bay 11-4 going into tonight's game. They are coached by Derek Olson, and one of the things they were trying to do tonight is not have any injuries. Come out of this game and avoid injuries, get all their players going into the districts on a high note. And it doesn't look like they're off to such a good start in that respect so far. A couple of the players are gathered around LaBarbera, checking him in the street. All right, we're going to take a look at that again, hopefully we can see what happened to PJ as he runs right into the keeper, and keeper was coming up after picking up that ball, and looked like he took a shoulder into the gut. Might have had the wind knocked out of him, and it looks like PJ is okay. He's holding his midsection, his ribs there, and he looks to be okay as he slowly walks off the field, escorted by head coach Derek Olson. For Bloomingdale, they are coached by David Tenney, and assistant coach is Robert Woodward. The Bloomingdale Bulls 17-1-1 on the year. Their only loss was to Miami American, who at one point was #1 in, according to Soccer USA, they were ranked #1 in the nation. So Bloomingdale is the favorite coming into this game. They have a strong lineup, a lot of scores. Their leading scorer is Chris Gatling. They also have a lot of weapons all throughout, and they're not going to. They're starting out with a 4-3-3 lineup, which is 4 defenders, 3 midfielders, and 3 forwards. But they're going to switch that up quite a bit. They like to use a lot of different styles, and you're going to see those tonight. Bloomingdale controls on the far side. Pass into the middle, dropped in a shot from the outside, and a nice save there on the long shot by East Bay's Rio Oros. Here comes Bloomingdale on the attack down the far side, and he's held up a little bit there by East Bay defender, and it'll be a free kick for East Bay. Excuse me, for Bloomingdale in black. There you see the Bulls right there in black. They're going left to right, and East Bay is going right to left. It'll be a free kick for the Bulls. It's an indirect free kick, so someone must touch the ball before it goes in. There's a header out, cleared by East Bay. A shot from the outside into the box, and East Bay gets it away from danger, and Bloomingdale controls again. Pass gets by number 28 for Bloomingdale. And we have an early substitution. PJ LaBarbera comes out of the game for East Bay. He's replaced by Jeremy Lilly at forward. So apparently PJ LaBarbera was a little bit shaken up. They probably want to save him a little bit for districts as well, so they'll quickly get him out of the game and prevent any other danger. That shot goes high over the goal. It'll be a goal kick for Bloomingdale. Excuse me, for East Bay. You see Rio Oros, the goalkeeper for East Bay. He's one of their top players. He's played well throughout the year, and they really rely on him for defensive purposes to keep East Bay into the game, and they've done well, 11-4 on the season. There's the free kick And P.J. LaBarbera has come back into the game, we understand. So in and out, you should see a lot of players coming to this game for East Bay. So LaBarbera apparently is okay. And of course, in high school soccer, you can use as many substitutions as you want. It's an offside there on Bloomingdale. You're allowed as many substitutions as necessary. And Coach Derek Olson for East Bay is using those early on. 4-3-3 lineup for East Bay as well. 4 defenders, 3 midfielders, and 3 forwards. There is goalkeeper John Gustafson for Bloomingdale, sets up for the free kick, and he'll treat this as a goal kick. Sends it deep into territory, and East Bay controls there. It's cleared away. Header into the middle, and East Bay controls the loose ball. Number 3 there for East Bay gets it back and he loses it. Bloomingdale down the middle, through ball. Fight for the ball. Bloomingdale on the outside, sends it back. Down the line on the outside. There you see Michael Kohlbecker. Gets by some defenders on the wing, looks to cross. Cannot is held up there on the corner into the box. That shot blocked and knocked away by East Bay nicely. Good clear there as Bloomingdale has controlled the offense in East Bay's side of the field here in the early going. Again, it's a championship game here in the Western Conference in Hillsborough County. Bloomingdale and East Bay. There's East Bay, ball stolen at midfield and sent out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the East Bay Indians. The Bloomingdale Bulls and the East Bay Indians is another Time Warner presentation of high school sports. You'll see a lot of high school action here for the rest of the school year. We're going to try to give you all different kinds of sports so you have some an ability, and the only place where you can see a lot of the high school action in Hillsborough County here is on Time Warner. So check your local listings for more Time Warner sports. Ball sent down the field by Bloomingdale. They'll take it down the left side, and it'll be a free kick there on a foul on East Bay. Quickly sends it into the box and controlled there by East Bay, and they clear. Up for the header, East Bay heads it back, and Bloomingdale controls again. Bloomingdale has had possession, most of the possession here in the early going. At the center for East Bay, Chris Hopkinson's a through ball, and Bloomingdale on a nice defensive play. Down the left side, nice slide tackle there by East Bay. Sent out of bounds, and Bloomingdale will get the throw-in. Down the far side, a shot, and that goes into the side of the net on the outside, just on the outside. A nice run there by Bloomingdale, but just couldn't put it into the net. Looks like Paul Sanders there on the attack, and East Bay escapes some danger there, and will have the free kick. David Orvish, the sweeper for East Bay, with the free kick, and Bloomingdale knocks it right back. Header forward, and Bloomingdale cannot control. And here comes Bloomingdale. Ball down the far side, making a run, and cannot find his man. It's cleared there by East Bay. East Bay 17-1-1 this year. They've been a power in Hillsborough County in soccer for years, and this year was no different. There's a ball into the box, taken down, sent ahead, but can't find his man, and East Bay clears, and Bloomingdale will get a throw-in deep in East Bay territory. Again, Bloomingdale has had possession most of the way here in the first half, deep in East Bay's territory. They penetrated the box quite a few times, but East Bay's done a good job of clearing and preventing any scores by Bloomingdale. Ball cleared out, and East Bay will look to counterattack, and not happy with himself there is East Bay's, looks like Johnny LaBarbera, who sent that. I wasn't happy with himself. They wanted some transition there, and that ball is sent out of bounds, and it'll go back to Bloomingdale. Again, Bloomingdale is in black, East Bay going right to left, and left to right, and East Bay is in white with the red shorts going right to left. Here's a ball down the left side, making a run again is Johnny LaBarbera, and he can't get to it, and Bloomingdale knocks it out of bounds. It'll be an East Bay throw-in. It's a throw-in for East Bay. David Orvish sends it in, and Bloomingdale clears it up. And East Bay looks to control but can't. There's a centering pass there by Bloomingdale, making a run down the far side. Looking across, the keeper comes out, and shot is high and over the head of goalkeeper Rio Oros for East Bay. So again, some more danger on the attack as Bloomingdale gets in transition there off the bad pass deep in East Bay territory on the transition. Can't get a score out of it, so Bloomingdale putting the pressure on East Bay, but the East Bay Indians have gotten some good defense deep in their own box and have avoided any scores. No score here in the Western Conference Championship game between East Bay and Bloomingdale. Bloomingdale the favorites here tonight. There's a through ball looking for a man there, and good clear there by Bloomingdale's keeper John Gustafson as East Bay was looking for Justin Hand, the leading scorer in Hillsborough County, but couldn't find him. Back on the attack is Bloomingdale. Through ball in the box, but the defender beats him to it, and we have a call here, and it looks to be on Bloomingdale. Might have been a little push off, it was offsides on Bloomingdale as they were making a run, but the offensive player was there before the ball. So East Bay hanging in here with one of the top teams in Hillsborough County, the Bloomingdale Bulls. Here's the free kick by East Bay, controlled by Bloomingdale. Ball into the center field, sent down the right side, can't find their man. The two guys were there for East Bay, Steve Fogelson and Marcus Dean, but neither one of them could get to that ball that was a little too far. There is Dean with a header back out of bounds, so East Bay will get the throw in once again. There's a throw in there. That's Paul Steitzer sends it down, and Bloomingdale gets the ball back, and loose ball, foul on East Bay, so Bloomingdale will come back and quickly looks to get this ball back into play, and they do. Center of the field, it's Matt Lepley, sends it along the far side. Overruns the ball, and East Bay controls, sends it down, and goes out of bounds, so Bloomingdale will come right back with a throw in. Quickly, Bloomingdale looks into the box. Controlling there for Bloomingdale, Matt Lepley. Gets by his man and is fouled there by East Bay's Johnny LaBarbera. Here's a free kick into the box. Header there by Bloomingdale, and it's a goal. A nice header on the low cross, and East Bay is not happy with that. They thought Bloomingdale's player was offside. We'll check to see who got in there on the header for the goal. We'll take a look at it right here. A nice header. It was low and hits the bottom corner, and that is Paul Sanders. Paul Sanders, one of the top scorers for Bloomingdale. A nice header. East Bay did not cover him, get in front of him on the cross. So Bloomingdale takes the quick lead. It's 1-0 Bloomingdale. Back on the attack. Here comes Bloomingdale on the turnover, and East Bay saves some trouble and gets the ball back. So Paul Sanders with a goal here for Bloomingdale, 1-0, and the Bloomingdale Bulls, who've had possession here most of the way in the early going, take that 1-0 lead. They've had a lot of penetration, took a lot of opportunities for them to finally get the ball in the goal, but they do that on Paul Sanders' header into the bottom left corner. And again, it was a nice cross there. I believe it was Matt Lepley on that cross into the box, and East Bay just didn't cover. Here comes East Bay back looking to counter here. Boston in the box looking for Chris Hopkins as East Bay couldn't get to it, and Bloomingdale is back on the counter attack. East Bay control at midfield. It's Joey LaBarbera, one of the many LaBarberas here for East Bay. And cross field, it's Andrew Morris sends it in, and that's taken away by Bloomingdale, and back they come. Nice defensive play there by East Bay. It's Justin Hand, leading scorer in Hillsborough County, and East Bay will send it back, a high ball in the midfield, and Bloomingdale heads it back ahead. We haven't seen too much possession here in the first half. A lot of headers, a lot of high balls, and no one's really had possession for too long. Bloomingdale has definitely done a better job of that here in the first half. Against a championship game here in Hillsborough County for the Western Conference title. My name is Vince Ferrar here on the call tonight for this exciting championship game. Bloomingdale leads 1-0 first half action, and a foul there at midfield and that ball will go back to Bloomingdale and a foul on, go back to East Bay and a foul on Bloomingdale. You see Fabian Byer, number 10, and also for East Bay, P.J. LaBarber, a couple of the forwards will be looking for this ball into the box as East Bay will try to send that in there. It's David Orish, the sweeper, who takes a lot of the free kicks and goal kicks for East Bay, sends it in, knocked back out for the Indians. They back it out. Back in the midfield for Orish. Orish trying to send it through and an offside on East Bay. The Indians not happy with that call, but their man, it looks like Justin Hand, was up ahead of the action, ahead of the ball, and it'll go back to Bloomingdale as goalkeeper John Gustafson will take this free kick for the Bulls. Gustafson sends it down, headed by East Bay. Loose ball still, and East Bay can't control. Bloomingdale comes right back down on the near side, centers it. Bloomingdale comes up ahead, enters the box, centers, and East Bay tries to clear, controlled back by Bloomingdale. Here's a shot, only got part of it, and Bloomingdale again on the outside. Here's a shot, and that goes wide as Bloomingdale's Marcus Dean couldn't get all of it on that shot. So again, more pressure by the Bulls, and East Bay again avoids giving up a goal, and they hold on. They're down 1-0 right now to the Bulls. David Orish, the sweeper for East Bay, will take this free kick. Low line drive, and Bloomingdale heads it right back. That's Steve Fogelson who sent that ball out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for East Bay. Controlling near side, and ball goes back to East Bay, out of bounds, and looks like Paul Stelzer. No, that's Justin Ham on a throw-in, a long throw-in down the sideline. Headed out of bounds by Bloomingdale, and it'll go back to East Bay on the throw-in. Mike Kohlbecker there for the Bulls sends that ball out of bounds, and East Bay with the throw-in. Justin Hand, the leading scorer for East Bay, will throw this ball in. He'll try to send it in the box and look for a header. So a lot of movement by East Bay towards the goal. There's the throw-in, and up for it is the goalkeeper. John Gustafson went up high for it, took it away from the two East Bay players that were there waiting on that ball, and a nice play by Gustafson, and he'll kick this ball back out to midfield. Overshoots a couple of the Bloomingdale players, and that ball sent out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Bloomingdale. Up ahead, knocked away by East Bay, sent back to midfield. That's P.J. LaBarber, who was down earlier back into the game. And a foul, looks like a dangerous play on Bloomingdale. High kick, on East Bay. So Bloomingdale will come back and quickly gets the free kick in. Down in the center of the field, dribbling ahead, sends it up at the top of the box, and Bloomingdale controls there. Drops it, sends it to the outside. Bloomingdale back in, center of the field. That's Matt Lepley who sends it back, and Bloomingdale backing away here, looking for the right opportunity. Send it through over the head of Matt Lepley, but he controls again. Gets by a man, dribbling up ahead, looking for a man in the corner. Leaves it. It crosses into the box, sent in. There is Paul Sanders again. He can't get to the header, and it's knocked out of bounds. So it'll be a corner kick, our first of the night for Bloomingdale. Paul Sanders couldn't get to that cross. He has a goal on a header earlier on in the first half. So it'll be a throw-in. Check that into the box, headed there by Sanders, and Rio Oros controls for East Bay. So Oros has been tested. The East Bay defense has been back on their heels for much of this first half, and Bloomingdale is back on the attack, and East Bay knocks it away, and loose ball. East Bay controls. It's Scott Jackson, and it's knocked away as it's sent into the box, and East Bay has really gotten very little offense going here in the first half, and Bloomingdale controls again. East Bay knocks it back away, and it'll go out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Bloomingdale. They say Drew Emery, who throws that ball in over the head of it looks like of Matt Lepley, and it's knocked out of bounds by East Bay. So it'll be another throw-in for the Bulls. Bloomingdale in black going left to right. And there you see Coach David. You see Coach Derek Olson for East Bay. He told me before the game he wants to play this game hard and try to win this game, but most importantly, does not want any. There's some pressure into the box by Bloomingdale, knocked away, and it'll be a throw-in by the Bulls. Neither of these teams want to get want to come into this game and go into districts with any injuries. That's the most important thing going into districts. Here's Bloomingdale in the box, centers, shot, and Oros is there. Not a whole lot on that shot, but Oros was in great position for that save. And again, Oros has really seen a lot of action here in the early going. Ball down the near side, not being able to get to it. Was Paul Sanders for Bloomingdale. So East Bay will throw in. Paul Stelzer sends it in. And a long ball looking for Justin Ham down the far side. Couldn't find him. Excuse me. That was two players there were there for East Bay, and East Bay will get a throw in. I haven't seen too much of the action here in the first half in Bloomingdale's side, so East Bay on offense going to look to try to take advantage of one of their few opportunities they've had here tonight. They sent a lot of players into the box, and the throw in there for taking the throw in will be Justin Hand. He's got strong hands. He can send that ball into the box, does, and it's cleared away by Bloomingdale, and they look to counterattack. Sending it down into the middle, coming out of the box is goalkeeper Oros. Dangerous play. He knocks it away and gets it out of trouble. And saving it there is East Bay, but back comes Bloomingdale. They look to create some more offense near side. That's Matt Lepley. He looks to cross, has a man, but it's knocked away. He gets it back into the corner and saved. Nice job there as Lepley got to that cross that was past him, and he headed it low, but Rios made a great recovery after making the first save, got down the line and made that save. So Rios has had Oros has had a lot of action here in the first half, made a good save, big recovery after that ball had gotten past him. We'll take a look at it here real quick, and well, we'll get that to you in just a second. Back to the action is East Bay. There you see the cross, and they're waiting for it for Bloomingdale. Low header, but he sent it, tried to put it into the corner, and as Oros makes another save for East Bay. But Oros made a great job after making the initial save and then getting back down the line to cover the far side. The shot for Bloomingdale, and give the man credit, is Chris Gatlin, the leading scorer for Bloomingdale. Ball sent deep into Bloomingdale territory. There's goalkeeper John Gustafson who will clear this, knock this ball out, and he's going to distribute. Down the far side, not a good pass. It was taken away there by P.J. LaBarbera. Back comes East Bay, and we got a foul on the play, so it'll be a free kick for the Indians. East Bay, as we mentioned, a 3-2 win over Gaither last night. Justin Hanna, a hat trick, 3 goals, leading the way for East Bay, and they're the surprise team here in this championship game. Ball into the box, dangerous, and finally cleared away partially there by Bloomingdale. There's Matt Lepley who knocks that ball out of bounds and can't get to it there in the far side, Bloomingdale player, and it'll go back to East Bay on the throw-in. There's Justin Hand, the leading scorer in Hillsborough County. Big-time scorer, had 3 last night to help East Bay get into this championship game. We'll send this into the box with a partial head on it. Dangerous ball still loose in the box. Nobody's controlling it. And there, John Gustafson finally gets to it after a scramble for the ball deep into the box, and Gustafson's still down. Looks like he might have got kicked in the head. He's holding the back of his head as he went low amongst a lot of legs and a lot of feet and a lot of cleats right around his head. And he's looks to be okay. He's still holding his head, but he should be all right. Long ball back in near the box, and East Bay will just knocks it away and clears it. So Bloomingdale, again, they are so quick at the counterattack, and they've done a good job of that as they've held the ball deep in the East Bay territory for most of this game. Ball centered, sent into the box, gets through. That's Chris Gatlin who can't control, and East Bay clears. Gatlin, another opportunity there in the box, and Bloomingdale comes back. Ball loose, and East Bay will get the ball back. So here comes the host, East Bay Indians, on the counterattack up along the far side, and that ball is knocked away by Bloomingdale, so it'll be East Bay ball on a throw-in. Again, most people thought Gaither would be the team in this championship game, but East Bay pulled off the surprise last night and is trying to hang in this game and give Bloomingdale a battle. Bloomingdale 17-1-1. They were all over Sickles last night, 9-3. This will be a throw-in here for Bloomingdale. Gustafson comes over trying to get that pass, but couldn't get it to him, and Bloomingdale will send a high ball into East Bay territory. Overrunning it there is Chris Gatlin, and the ball is sent out and cleared there by East Bay, and Bloomingdale will get the throw in. You see Mike Kohlbecker with the throw in, sends it along the far side, wasn't making a run, his man wasn't there to make the run. Looked like Chris Gatlin, a little miscommunication with him. Gatlin didn't go on the run down the far side, and the ball was there. So East Bay will get the throw in.
East Bay, substitution number 20, Jeremy Lilly.
Jeremy Lilly checks into the game for East Bay. There you see him right there forward. And ball sent into the box, and East Bay heads that ball away. It goes over the goal line, so it'll be a corner kick. That's our first for the night on the far side. Bloomingdale will take this one. With Bloomingdale having so many weapons, it's a very dangerous situation for East Bay. They want to try to avoid these situations as much as possible, and they've done a good job to this point. This is the first corner kick of the night. Justin Tethier sends it in the box and punched away there by Rio Oros, and Bloomingdale gets the ball, tries to send it back in, blocked there by East Bay, and they'll clear and get out of the danger. East Bay trying to counterattack, but there for Bloomingdale is Casey Stump. Sends that ball out of bounds. Check to see what the call is. Looks like it's going to be Bloomingdale ball, but there's a player down just outside of the box, and he's limping right now. We'll check to see who that is in just a moment. There you see 12:54 left in the first half. Bloomingdale leading 1-0 over the surprise East Bay Indians in this championship game. That was Bobby Anderson, who slowly limping off to the sidelines, and he's going to come out of this game. It looks like Steve Harvell will check in for him. We might see him back in this game, but for right now, there's no sense in trying to aggravate any injuries for either team, since the districts are coming up, and that takes greater importance, because that's what can take you to a state championship game. Ball sent into the box just outside, couldn't control it as Harvell, as he sees the ball quickly, and the East Bay clears, and out far is Gustafson for Bloomingdale as he tries to keep the pressure on, but he sends it over the head on the far side of Detier, so East Bay will come right back with the throw in. Sends it down the far side for East Bay, can't get to it, and Bloomingdale gets the ball right back and down the far side, centers it. At Steve Fogelson down to center looking for his man Detier, and he can't get to it. East Bay clears. Again, 1-0 Bloomingdale over East Bay. You're scoring the championship game here in Hillsborough County. Two of the better teams in Hillsborough County fighting for this title. Foul on the play. It'll be on Bloomingdale. So East Bay will get the free kick in their own end. Looks like for East Bay, that is David Orvis, who takes most of the set kicks for the Indians. Will send this just outside of the box, has a man, couldn't control it there for the Indians. That was Andrew Morris, midfielder for East Bay. And back on the transition is Bloomingdale. Matt Lepley switches fields, sends it down up ahead, leaves it and sent it into the box, and Rio Oros can't control, and there's Paul Sanders who couldn't control just outside of the boxes as Bloomingdale had Oros outside of his box. Rio Oros took a chance on coming out to try to kick that ball away. East Bay escaped some danger there. they will get a free kick as David Orbish will take this one as well. So there's your score. Bloomingdale 1, East Bay nothing. 10:35 left in the first half of the Western Conference Championship here in Hillsborough County in boys soccer. Be a throw in here for East Bay there in